Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be revisiting Lord of the Lost. I've covered them twice before now. I looked at a track called Lorelei and then I looked at a track called Morgana, and I really enjoyed both of those tracks, and the track that kept coming up was a track called Voodoo Doll that I should check out. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Now, before we get into it, there's not going to be any videos over the weekend because I'm going to Manchester. I'm going to go and see Testament and Exodus at the Manchester Academy, so I'm going to be away all over the weekend, so there won't be any videos for a couple of days. Now, with this song, there is actually a little bit of a backstory to it. I tried to look further into it, but I couldn't really find very much. But it says that the lyrics of this song were written by Joy Frost when she was 18 years old, a couple of months before leaving the Mormon church. So there is actually a story behind this. Now, as usual, I have the lyrics up here, and like I said, I've really enjoyed the past couple of Lord of the Lost tracks that I've looked at. So, yes, I'm really looking forward to this one, so we'll just jump to it. We've got Voodoo Doll by Lord of the Lost. Let's have a look.
And buttons for the eye, stuffed inside with cloves and spices. Chant your words in the night with needle and thread, sew together your strange devices. But I don't feel these pins and needles, these pins and needles. You have no power here. No, I don't feel you anymore. No black magic can control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So go ahead, carve your candle with the white handle. This is my life after all. I'm not your voodoo doll. With your old book of spells and strands of my hair, you whisper the incantation. It's your remote control over my heart and soul. My behavior is your creation, but I don't feel these pins and needles, these pins and needles. You have no power here. No, I don't feel you anymore. No black magic can control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So go ahead, carve your candle with the white handle. This is my life after all. I'm not your voodoo doll. I'm not your voodoo doll. I'm not your voodoo doll. Control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say. I'm just gonna do it anyway. No black magic can control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can
And there we go. Voodoo Doll by Lord of the Lost. Fantastic, fantastic piece of music, and really, it's quite some lyrics going on there as well. I mean, and if you consider that this was written by an 18-year-old girl before leaving a church, it's quite intense, really. And it seems to be talking about, possibly the reason why she left the Mormon church is the fact that the way that they try and control and manipulate the people within the religion by the sounds of things. I mean, the whole thing of it being called voodoo doll, it's like, manipulation of someone. So, quite interesting. And I love the wording of it as well, it's fantastic. It goes, a pearl for a heart and buttons for the eyes, stuffed inside with cloves and spices. Chant your words in the night with needle and thread, sewn together your strange devices. So, I mean, that's just basically how a voodoo doll is made, just those couple of opening lines are fantastic imagery already. It's amazing. It carries on, but I don't feel these pins and needles. These pins and needles. You have no power here. Now I don't feel you anymore. So it's like you can try and manipulate me all you want, but I can't feel any of this manipulation. I'm not falling for it anymore. But in here it's sort of like you can try and jab me with pins, but I'm not going to feel that anymore because I have no interest in it. I don't want any part of it, sort of thing. What it seems to say. Then it goes into that really, really catchy chorus. The black magic can't control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say. I'm just going to do it anyway. So go ahead and carve your candle with that knife with the white handle. This is my life after all. I'm not your voodoo doll. So, that's like the determination of, your black magic can't control me, no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say, I'm just going to do it anyway. It's like, no matter what you do, no matter what you try, I'm not yours to control anymore. I'm walking away. I'm not being part of this anymore. I don't want to be part of your manipulation. And she carries on, go ahead, carve your candle with that knife with the white handle. It's sort of like, go ahead, carve your totems, your, all these sort of supposed things that are like maybe set to curse me or whatever, whatever you're going to try and do to try and keep me there, go ahead, try it. But, I'm not your plaything anymore. I'm not going to be manipulated by you anymore. This is my life. I'm in control of it. You've got no say in what I do anymore. It carries on. With your old book of spells and strands of my hair, you whisper the incantation. It's your remote control over my heart and soul. My behaviour is your creation. But I don't feel these pins and needles. These pins and needles. You have no power here. No, I don't feel you anymore. So again, it's going back to the ways that they're trying to control it. Your old book of spells and strands of my hair, you whisper the incantation, is sort of like a reference to possibly witchcraft or something like that. The skewed view of what witchcraft is, but it's along the same lines. And it's your remote control over my heart and soul. My behaviour is your creation. So these are the ways that you tried to control me, and the way that I lived my life was dictated by you. I was told about, you told me how to behave, you told me how to act, and that's not who I am. You controlled every facet of my life, and I'm not dealing with that anymore. I don't want to be part of that anymore. And then it went back into that cool chorus again. The black magic can't control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say. I'm just going to do it anyway. So go ahead and carve your candle with that knife with the white handle. This is my life after all. I'm not your voodoo doll. And then he repeats, I'm not your voodoo doll, a couple more times. And then he goes into this little sort of bridge part. It says, I don't belong to anyone. I'm not a puppet with my strings in your hand. I don't belong to anyone. I won't obey your commands. And then back into that chorus, and then at the end he just repeats, voodoo doll, I'm not your voodoo doll, and then that really sort of cool, effect-laden voodoo doll right at the end. So, I mean, even that little bridge part, I don't belong to, to anyone. I'm not a puppet with my strings in your hands. I don't belong to anyone. I won't obey your commands. So it's like, I'm not something to be owned. I am my own person, you're not going to control me anymore. You know, you don't have any power over me. You don't have any control over me. I am my own person. I don't belong to anyone. I'm not something to be owned. You know, and I'm not going to listen to your rules, your commands, and I'm not going to do anything you tell me to anymore because you have no say in my life. So it's quite an intense song, and the fact that it was written by an 18-year-old girl, I mean, it's got to tell you something about how great of a wordsmith this girl is. I mean, it's a fantastically written piece of music, and the way that she felt she was being oppressed or whatever by this religion that was basically controlling every facet of her life. It's quite something. And again, the actual performance of the track, Chris Harms, his voice is just magnificent. I absolutely love this guy's voice. It's so deep and rich. He's got such a fantastic voice. And I think this is the only one out of the 3 tracks I've checked out. This is the only time he doesn't go into any kind of shouted or screamed vocals. So throughout this is just that really nice, deep, rich voice. Don't get me wrong, I love all of the tracks that I've heard, and they're absolutely fantastic. And this track is just phenomenal. It's really, really catchy as well. Such a good track, and I love the imagery in the video as well. Just the plain white background with Chris, pretty much painted entirely white, and somebody sticking wooden spikes into a photograph of him and then reflecting immediately on himself. It's wonderful imagery and wonderful piece of music. I absolutely love that piece of music. So yeah, that's quite a track. But I can't really think of much else to say about that. I just love the way it sounds like the old sort of 80s sort of metal goth music. It's got such a great sound to it. I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Now, as I said, I am going to be away this weekend, so there is going to be no videos over the next couple of days. But, rest assured I will be coming back to it once I get back from the gig. Now, if anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. Drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or even through my Patreon, where you could also help to support this channel and help me create future content, maybe even improve the quality of future content. There is also an option on Patreon where you can get your suggestion jumped to the front of the queue. There are a couple of restrictions on that, however, to be fair to other people who suggest tracks through regular means, such as comments through Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you should happen to suggest a track through those regular means, do know it might take me a while to get around to it, since I do get suggested so many tracks every single day that my list of tracks it grows ridiculously fast that I can't keep up with it. I can't keep up with the speed that I'm getting suggestions. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it'll get done eventually. It's just going to take me a while to get around to it, unfortunately. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mainly those involving people of the alternative culture. And it's something I believe in very, very strongly, something I'm very, very passionate about, because it's something I've had to deal with for a large portion of my life, and something many of my friends and family have had to deal with as well. And it's something that doesn't get the recognition it needs. Because every single day, all around the world, people from the alternative culture are getting violently attacked, brutally attacked, beaten, and, sometimes getting bones broken, people getting hospitalised, and sometimes with invasive injuries, like, from being stabbed or something, just because of their taste in music. And this goes on every single day, but nothing is said about it. You never hear anything about it. Every single day we hear about all these other hate crimes around the world, like sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, religious hatred, what have you. We hear about these every single day. From the most heinous and violent of these crimes, where someone is murdered because of the colour of their skin, or their sexual preference, or their religion, down to, the most pathetic of these crimes, where entitled Karen is calling the police because a family of colour are having a picnic in a public park. We hear every facet of these crimes almost daily, but we never hear about these people that are violently attacked, brutally beaten to within an inch of their life because of their taste in music. And people have argued with me that it's not a hate crime, but it is. The very essence of a hate crime is being attacked or attacking someone because you hate a certain aspect about them, whether it is the colour of their skin, the sexual, their sexual preference, their religion, or their taste in music. If you're attacking someone for the reason of hating that thing about that person, it is a hate crime. So attacking someone because you don't like their music is a hate crime. And it's never made sense to me, because you don't attack people because they read different books to you. You don't attack someone because they watch different TV shows or movies to you. So why is music such a trigger point? It absolutely boggles my mind. But this is something that is going on and never gets spoken about nearly as much as it needs. The last time this was spoken about was 12 years ago, when Sophie Lancaster and her boyfriend Rob Maltby were violently attacked and brutally beaten by a group of 5 or 6 people. They were beaten so badly, they had their heads stamped on. They were beaten so badly that they both ended up in a coma. Now, Rob Maltby, he thankfully survived. He came out of a coma after about a week or so. I can't remember exactly how long it was. But Sophie Lancaster was in a coma for 13 days before she succumbed to her injuries and died. This girl was murdered because she liked alternative music. And this happened 12 years ago, and that's the last time there was any widespread media coverage, any widespread coverage at all, of the fact that this was happening. But I can guarantee you, in the 12 years since that happened, hundreds, if not thousands of people from the alternative community have been attacked in a similar fashion, and we've just not heard anything about it, mainly because no one died, and that is disgusting. It shouldn't take someone's death for this to be spoken about. We shouldn't have to wait for another person to die before we start talking about this again. The fact that we're not talking about this, the fact that nobody's talking about this, essentially the people perpetrating these crimes are getting away with it. They're not facing the punishment that they deserve for doing this. You brutally assault someone, you should be punished accordingly. But because no one says or does anything about it, they're just getting away with it. And that's unacceptable, and that needs to change. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They want to bring more attention to the fact that this is happening. They want to put a stop to this happening. They don't want to see another family go through what they went through when they had to watch their daughter slowly die over the course of 2 weeks because of the actions of a group of small-minded idiots. What happened to Sophie Lancaster cannot be allowed to happen again. It should never have happened in the first place. And we shouldn't have to wait for that to happen again before this gets spoken about. Something needs to be done. These people need to be punished accordingly. And we need to put a stop to this. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, and find out what their main goal is, because they can explain it a lot better than I can. And if you can help them out in any small way, obviously don't feel obligated to do so, but if you can help them out in any small way, a small donation through their website, or something as simple as like one of these Sophie wristbands off their web store, the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to the fact that this is happening, the sooner we can help to stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Magic can control me, and no curse can let you own me. There's nothing you can do or say. I'm just gonna do it